It's 4:01, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started on this masterclass, and we are going to be having our live question and answer. I've got some slides here for you, as well as some really great information I'm going to be talking about to help you continue forward in your real estate career and help you get to a position where you're closing deals and feeling confident and feeling really good about what's going on and how it's going. So I know people are going to be popping in and out of this class, and as soon as you guys come in, I'm willing to go ahead and stop and do whatever I'm doing and answer your questions, because I know you may not only be able to pop in for a few minutes, and whatever you guys want to talk about is first with me. So for this live question and answer, I put together a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about that I feel will really give you a leg up. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before that, we're going to get to a little bit of housekeeping. Excuse me. So the LOI challenge, I am really proud of you guys for even going there, taking a look at it. Some of you are actually doing live LOIs for clients, and others of you are just kind of getting comfortable with it, right? And reading over and over again. And some of you have written down just a few lines about it, but I'm always so proud that you're doing it. You're actually doing the work. And with those efforts and with that action, you're going to create momentum. So keep going until we really get a hold of the LOIs. We're going to sit with it. We're going to sit with the LOI challenge even for next month if we need to, because being able to write a really great LOI is what gets your deal over the line. Being able to write a really good LOI is what gets you to the place that you need to be. And so I'm excited. Here I go, guys. There I am. I'm excited to share with you all of the steps of the LOI, because it's very, very, very important that we focus on understanding the things that work for us, right? The second housekeeping item I want to talk to you about is the Economic Office of Workforce Development. That was an action item that we had started doing, I believe, back in August. I want to revisit that and find out what happens with that. The Economic Office of Workforce Development, which is EOWD, is really one of those clients that you should be connecting with at least once a month. Being entrenched with them will be a great pipeline for your career, because believe me, there are so many opportunities presented, and business owners and investors being in front of them, they will have a chance to share some referrals. So keep going as far as that one's concerned. I want to touch base with that. Find out where you are with it. Do you need to make some follow-up phone calls or send a follow-up email? And if you do, you can write that on your action item list of things to do for next week. My next housekeeping is book suggestions. I know we are so busy, but when we have an opportunity to read books, we give ourselves an opportunity to learn and grow in so many other aspects and ways. So the book suggestion that I have for you today is Donald Miller's Business Made Simple. And I wanted to show you what that looks like. So you can go to Amazon, and I'm not an affiliate with it, but I've purchased it myself, and soon I will be affiliating with a lot of book and authors, because, as you know, books are my favorite thing. Love books. So the course I'm speaking about is Donald Miller, Business Made Simple, and it's really helped me a lot. So the book, I don't know, I think it was just like $20-something, but as far as the book suggestions and things like that, wrong one, huh? That's one of the ones that I'd love for you guys to read. So it's Business Made Simple. It's right here. It's Donald Miller with Business Made Simple. Let's just click on it so you can see what the actual cover looks like. When you're looking at it, you'll know what you're looking for. Are we working on it? Internet's a little slow today, guys. That's my editor, video editor. Business made simple. Here it is. And it's business made simple. 60 days to master leadership, sales, marketing, execution, management, personal productivity, and more. So that's going to be on our book suggestion list for this month, guys and gals. Ooh, okay. And so let's get back to our presenter view here. We're doing our house calls, and then we're going on to the next one, to Plain Vanilla Shell, which is a great resource I want you guys to start taking advantage of. Plain Vanilla Shell, it speaks about things that are going in the retail industry, and what stores are opening where, what's going on with which locations. Amazon is opening in a new fresh grocery location in North Seattle. In Atlanta area, turns on the light with an 8-unit deal signed with Batteries Plus. So you can keep going on for Zoli's. Anything that's going on, pretty much, you can find it at Plain Vanilla Shell. And it just gives you a great opportunity to kind of just read and start getting abreast of what's going on in the industry. And we'll take you to one that will actually read. This is a great one here, Batteries Plus. We heard about them. So they signed an agreement for 20 new stores. And some of these, you won't really have a realistic opportunity to work with them because they're probably working like the larger firms like JLL or CBRE. But it doesn't mean that you can't be, and you must be aware of what's going on, right? You must be aware of the big players in the industry and what they're doing. And there's another great resource too, is franchising.com. So we'll talk about that at another time. But Plain Vanilla Shell is a website that I would like for you to start visiting, to start reading, sign up for the newsletter. And when you get it, read it. You never know what great information you might find in there to share with your clients and to create a connection. So as far as our housekeeping goes, now we're moving on to the membership. So as you know, that we are relaunching the membership, and we love our members. We love having you so much. We're so thankful for you having the opportunity to learn and grow, and you're actually doing the work. And we really want to acknowledge that and hold a space for you as you're learning, as you're growing, as you're gaining that confidence. That's what we're here to do at Learn Commercial Real Estate, is to hold space for you. So please tell your real estate friends and people about us and what we do, and our membership is open. I'm thinking about doing some sort of referral. So if you do come and refer someone, then maybe you get like maybe a month or two off. So we'll figure that out. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. So the membership tier works like this. There's going to be 2 tiers. There's going to be one that's just a basic tier, and that's $2.99 to join and $49 a month. And when I say basic, you know nothing about me is basic. I bring the heat. I bring the advanced education. And the top tier is the $9.99 and $129 a month to join. I broke them down into a deal makers and the industry shakers. Now, when the membership opens, you guys would be considered what is called an industry shaker. Excuse me 1 second. You're being moved to the top tier. But I also want to let you know is that your group, my founding members and my other coaching clients that I have previously, you guys are you're the only group that can have access to me at all times. They cannot have access to me at all times. So make sure you remember that when you're talking about the membership, they're not going to be able to have what you have. So moving forward, we know that they'll get what they need though, right? Yes. Moving on to the next, housekeeping. Many of you know I've been taking a class on restorative justice and conflict mediation. We've been using a method called EARS, and I wanted to share a little bit about that with you. So when you're talking to your clients and people around you, you can start using this method as well. So it's acronym EARS, and it stands for empathy, asking, reflecting, and summarizing. Many times when we're talking to tenants and landlords on the phone, they could be ranting and raving or kind of confused or not really sure what's going on, we're listening with an empathetic ear, not to have an answer, but just to sort of understand where they are, what space they are in within themselves. We're listening with empathetic mindset and ears. And then we asked on questions based on what we've heard. How is the market affecting you? How has your tenant not paying affected you? How has the landlord continuously putting, 3-day notice evictions on your door? How is that affecting you? And then you give them a chance to answer. And then that answer, how you can show them that you've heard is reflect back what they've said to you. Reflect back. It seems as you were saying this. It seems you were dealing with this. And then the S is summarizing. And say, hey, was I correct? After you've summarized it, your reflection, ask, was I correct? Did I miss anything? And then that's how you get all the information from your client that maybe they weren't even planning to share with you through the EAR system. It's amazing, and it really draws the clients to you, and they feel close to you, and it brings a great connection. So really like you guys to start implementing more of the EARS processes when you're talking to your clients, because we're here to take it to the next level, guys. That's what we want to do, take it to the next level. Now, let's get into it. One of the reasons that we host these classes, and while I'm here for you and holding your space, is to give you confidence. And that's one of your goals, is to gain confidence, feeling so great about deals where you can take it to A to Z without my help. And that day is coming. But I hope that you'll always continue to call me and stay in touch with me, because I really do love and adore you guys. So I'm so thankful. It's like we've created connection for life, right? It's so important for you to feel good about the space that you're in, whether you're walking to a space or the space that you're in, feeling good about that, being confident. And if there's anything that I can do to further support you with that, please let me know. I really want you to be confident, to feeling good in your space, because that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. And let me just check in over there. Okay, guys, we're around 12 minutes here. And Crystal, one of our wonderful wealth builders who's been on fire, I believe it was last month, she sent me this email saying that she would like a little bit of a breakdown of this information, because it'd be easier to understand. And if you would like a class on flyers and reading flyers or something like that, let me know. Which I think I'll probably put something together for you guys anyway. Just a lot of great information. So let me read to you what the email says. It says, hi, Crystal. The property is being sold with a 10-year lease in place as an absolute net lease. Owner is responsible for roof and structure repair, while all other operating costs, CAMs, taxes, and insurance are paid by the tenant. First year NOI is $98,717.50, with 50 cents a square foot of annual increases. A new roof was put on the building at the end of 2019 with warranty. The interior has been remodeled, and the tenant is Regional Credit. The tenant is One Lux LS Companies, LLC, which is a commercial lighting industry and is the parent company of 4 subsidiary lighting companies. Pricing expectation is based on current cap rates. Crystal sent me this email and said, hey, it'd be pretty good to translate this. So guess what, team? That's what we're doing today. We're going to translate this. And one of the things that I want to say, preface to say this, is in your landlord class, there's information of that. We have an operating expenses class coming out, or I think it might have been dropped already, but we have over 50 modules and pieces of information in that membership so far. And I can definitely tell that it's been helping because of the sheer momentum these wealth members that you guys are gaining. It's amazing, and it's just so wonderful. So let's talk about this. So the property is being sold with a 10-year lease in place. So the first sentence let us know that the property is for sale. It's being sold. But it also has a tenant with a 10-year solid lease in place. And with having a tenant producing income, right? So we know that, number one, the property is being sold. Number two, it already has a tenant involved with a 10-year lease. The next line says it's an absolute net lease. All right, so we know that the property is being sold. We know that there is a tenant there in place. And now, ching ching, we know it's an absolute net lease. And I know you wonderful people might be thinking, oh my goodness, DK, I forgot what that was. I gotcha right here. Absolute net lease. An absolute net lease is a lease that requires the tenant to pay, in addition to the base rent, all the costs associated with the operation, repair, and maintenance of the building. It's known as a bondable lease. Nobody really calls about that. You know, old school people though. If someone calls it a bondable lease, you know they've been in the industry for a long time. And it has every other financial risk of the space to the tenant. So knowing that, who's in a power play? Who's in a power position? The landlord or the tenant? The landlord, we know, let's go back to here. We know the landlord has put a lease structure in place that's an absolute net lease, which means the tenant has most of the responsibility. The tenant has to pay for all of that stuff, which if you're an investor coming in looking at that, you're like, this is looking good. This is a great property. And that absolute net lease, oh, they're getting excited about that. So I hope you guys are starting to understand. Let's go back. Property is being sold with a 10-year lease in place, and it has an absolute net lease. And now we can remember, because we've got in our classes, but we remember what the net lease is. So the risk is all on the tenant. The risk is all on the business owner on this one, right? But check this out. For a business owner in a business to come and take on those responsibilities, they've got to be a big group, right? And we learn a little bit something in the next line or so. So the owner is going to be responsible for the roof and structural repairs, which is common. Most owners and investors and landlords, they're going to be responsible for their own roof, the walls, things like that. That's what they're responsible for, right? But all other operating costs and CAMs, taxes, and insurance are paid by the tenant. So not only is the tenant having to pay for the base rent, they've got to pay for all the CAM, which is the common area maintenance. They've got to pay for the taxes on the property. So whatever taxes are passed through to the landlord, you know, state or whatever, the tenant pays those. A good deal for the landlord, huh? So keep going. The first year NOI, and let's stop there for 1 second. The first year NOI, and that means not operating income, is $98,717.50. So we know the first year from the 10-year lease, the operating income is over $98,000 a year. And he's giving Crystal these numbers and this information because an agent with the information he's given will understand how to put the calculations together. Okay, so we're going to break it down. Net operating income is $98,000 with the 50-cent square foot of annual increases. You guys know, hey, you're going to get some annual increases, right? And when we're doing leases from the tenant side, sometimes we're saying, okay, what the annual increases, you know, what could those be? What are those? How are they figuring out? Well, they're letting you know, right? They're letting you know it's 50 cents. And we also know that a new roof was put on the building at the end of 2019 with the warranty. So we've got a new building now, new building for a new roof. I want to get back to that net operating income and talk a little bit more about that. reminding you guys what is net operating income, because that's very important. When you are representing a landlord, there will be times when you're going to have to break down this information for yourself. But as you're first getting started, most of the landlords will have all of this stuff together, but you're going to learn it. You got to learn it. You have to learn it. So the NOI is a calculation used to analyze the profitability of an income generating real estate investment. So triple net, double net, absolute net, single net, all of that. Net operating income equals all the revenue from the property, all of the revenue, minus reasonably necessary operating expenses. So that's how you come up and understand what the net operating income is. And the net operating income is one of the first things that an investor will want to know on a property, right? Let's go back to that email. Excuse me. Yes, we're going to get into capitalization too. So we know new roof was put on there. We understand the net operating income and what that means. And now the interior has been remodeled. Great, interior is remodeled, looks good. And the tenant is regional credit. So this means that this is a big company. This is a solid, this is an anchor tenant. This is a tenant that has a long, great financial history. They have a regional credit. They can go and do whatever the heck they want to do. This is a solid tenant. And they would have to be to take on all that risk, right? So the tenant is a regional credit. And then it says who the tenant is. The tenant is One Lux. So they're One Lux and they're the LS Companies LLC. And if we were writing the LOI, we would put LS Companies LLC. Right? We wouldn't put One Lux, we would put LS Companies LLC. So which is a commercial lighting industry and it's a parent company of 4 other subsidiary companies. So that's fantastic. This is like a great solid tenant. But the pricing expectation is based on the current cap rate. Okay, well, what are the current cap rates? What are those and how do we figure them out? Where is that coming in? It's important for you to understand the concept of cap rates and know how to speak about it educatingly, because being in commercial real estate, you're definitely going to have a chance to work with and talk to some investors, and some of them are into selling and purchasing. So you will want to know what the cap rate, right, and things like that for, especially with the leasing, because the cap rate will signify how much needs to come in to meet a certain threshold of the requirement. So in this one here, the pricing expectation is based on current cap rates. So I wanted to talk about the capitalization rate. But first, before I talk about the capitalization rate, let me give you the calculation. It is net operating expense divided by the current market value. And in your class, in the portal, we have a cap rate calculation. So I'm not going to go over too much about that right now. So the capitalization rate is calculated by dividing a property's net income, operating income, by the current market value. We just went over that. And the ratio, the number that comes up is the cap rate. And the cap rate is an investor's ding, 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 of whether that's something they would want to invest in, whether it's a low cap rate, it's really not making, it's not really generating a lot of income, or is it a higher cap rate, right? Which one would be more attractive to an investor? A property that's not generating income or a property that is generating income? You would say a property that's generating income, right? Well, that depends on what the investor wants to do with the property. If he just wants to get in there and say, for example, just like this property is, they're purchasing it with a lease in tow. This has got a great cap rate, you can tell. But sometimes the investor wants to purchase a property with hopes of redevelopment. So his idea of what a cap rate should be that's attractive to him would be completely different. So I hope that helps understand a little bit better about cap rates, what this email meant. And when you start getting emails like this, just kind of to break them down. And just like Crystal did, if you have a question and you need clarity on anything like that, let me know, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys. Okay. I wanted to go over a couple of more things too. Cold calling. Cold calling. Done some newsletter, things like this, but guys, we need to be cold calling. I've had a lot of success with cold calls. And you know me, you know my idea is not cold calling, it's calling to connect, right? So the first thing we're going to be thinking about is, who are you calling to connect? Is it going to be retail clients? Is it going to be industrial? Is it going to be office? And if it's retail, are we going to work on gym clients this week? Are we going to work on gym clients that has square footage of 1,000 square feet to 3,000 square foot in this particular area? Are we going to be calling lease expirations on companies whose leases are expiring? Calling them to say, hey, we have a new space for you. You know what? You could even cold call the numbers on the buildings or the lease signs that you see, just to continue to get practice and know what's on the market. You guys know I'm always walking around, right? Walking around today and actually saw a space for my clients. I don't know if it'll work, but it meets kind of the criteria. So I got to figure out what the asking on it is, though, right? The asking what the cost of the space is going to be. Would have got it and understood that if I was not walking around. But the number was there with the agent. I gave them a call. So for some of you who are just starting to gain your confidence and doing the things you need to do, go ahead and call the agents already, because you already know the questions you're going to call to ask them. You get a little bit more confidence, right? Get a little bit more confidence. So let's get cold calling in. You know, I'd love 25 to 50 calls a day from you guys. But if you can do 5 or 10, depending on what you're doing, but just don't put it off. When I'm cold calling and calling to connect, I always make a connection. And some of my best deals have come out that way. Calling to connect. Guys, excuse me. And let's go to the next slide, because I'm going to take a break. I got to share something with you. Yes, you are wonderful. Look at you. You are doing things. You are making it happen. You're wonderful. Keep going. Keep going. Commercial real estate is a long industry. Commercial real estate is not something where you can do for 1 or 2 years. I mean, you could. You know what? Some people do commercial real estate. A lot of white guys have done commercial real estate and gotten burned out. Okay? They're like, oh yeah, I used to do commercial real estate a few years ago. Now I'm doing this and that. It's our time. Because we can work harder. We can work smarter. Right? And using these strategies that I'm teaching you, you don't have to do all going around in circles chasing pavements. I'm teaching you right how to get to the target. Just step on the ledge and do it. What action items are you going to take this week, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3, to put you forward to your goal? Your goal might be perfecting the LOI. Your goal might be finding a new client, closing a listing, understanding how to talk to business owners. Whatever your goal is, what are you going to do this week to get a little closer to it? That's my question. Can you send me an email? Let me know. Can you send me an email? Let me know. What items are you going to do this week? 1 or 2 things that's going to push you forward to your goal, right? And like I said, that goal can be all sorts of things, right? You know, it could be just to get through the day, having good thoughts and being focused on your business, right? It could be redirecting your energy so you're feeling good about making those calls. Wherever you are in the space that you are in, honor that. And that's how we can move forward, when we're sitting and we're honoring where we are, and then we start moving forward, right? Now, I started something, it's called Self-Appreciation Sundays, and I want my group to get involved in it. On Sundays, I would like you to write down or say to yourself purposely, or do a record video, 3 things you appreciate about yourself. 3 things you appreciate about you, because I want you to begin to appreciate yourself more. And when you live in the spirit of gratitude and appreciation for yourself, oh man, you start getting ideas, genius ideas, doors start opening for you, sun starts shining on you a little bit more, the energy changes and what you're attracting changes. You are wonderful. I really want you to continue to understand that and put yourself in positions of greatness. Put yourself in positions where you're able to feel good about what you are doing. Put yourself in position to say yes to qualified clients. And when you're working on your confidence, when you're working on those little goals, like I said, it could be just to get your mindset right. What am I going to do to get my mindset right this week? That's okay. That's perfect. It's a wonderful goal. It could be, what am I going to go do to talk to this specific business owner, or to find this landlord space that I was looking for, or connect with this person or that person? What am I going to do? Okay. What are we going to do to move forward? And when we don't beat ourselves up if we don't get them done. But we're going to purposely put them in our minds. All right. Next subject I want to talk to you about is I mentioned something about having open houses and little get-togethers. You can have a landlord appreciation or a tenant appreciation at a local coffee shop, so you know it's for free. Everyone purchases their own coffee. You provide a lead magnet. You could do a quick little chat, but you could just do a little mixer, right? And then go around and introduce yourself to everybody. Kind of like speed landlording, right? Speed dating. Hi, da-da-da-da. 45 seconds, but you're not taking that. I'm telling you, these landlords will love to get out the house and go to the little coffee place, right? I don't want to be stereotypical, but a lot of the landlords are older men and women. And sometimes they don't have the support system or what you would think they have. Sometimes a nice call goes a long way. Maybe they won't meet you for coffee, but the fact that you even offered to meet them for coffee goes a long way. And always be careful and be safe about what you're doing, right? Always be careful and safe. But a lot of these little landlords and land guys are like little old men and ladies, and they just don't have the connections that they're used to. So having someone who's a boots on the ground like you, they would love it. They would absolutely love it. Excuse me one second, I can drink some water. Thanks for being patient with me, guys. Thanks for being patient with me. So I see nobody was able to really jump on today, and that's okay because I already talked to 6 of you guys this morning. I really enjoy talking to you and helping you with your deals. I really do. I really do. I'm shouting out to all of you. I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes because somebody might jump on and off, but I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. I'm going to go on over here to my trusty friend, LoopNet. And what we're going to do over here, I visit LoopNet every day. This is one of my favorite things to do. I like to see what other spaces are coming on, what's going on in the market, what's available, what's not available, what's moved, what hasn't moved. And I mean, you could even go through some of the properties here and just start calling them, right? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna turn on this phone here. Hopefully no one calls. I just like to have my phone turned off when I'm doing things, give you guys my undivided attention. Righty. Let's go, okay. And we're starting. I knew that was going to happen as soon as I said that. Let's see, this might be. Hello? Yes. Hey, how are you?
Oh, doing well, just working away.
Same. Yeah, you got some numbers for me.
I do, yeah. So a few things. This one needed some explaining over the phone, which is why I didn't just like text you back a number. So first of all, the storefront facade, it was upgraded and it's all new with a new door. The landlord did that, but everything inside the space, in my opinion, it pretty much needs to be gutted and rebuilt. So you're probably looking at a few $100,000 worth of renovations.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 47 liquor license, which we will basically allow the tenant to use as part of the rent. So they don't have to pay for it, but they also own it. At the termination of the lease, we want to make sure it stays in the space. There is no hood in the space right now. So there's just a very small prep kitchen and no hood. So you could explore, I think, going up a light well above the space, but you'd have to vent, basically vent up to the roof a couple of levels and then build out all the kitchen infrastructure in the hood.
Yeah, yeah.
Landlord is very interested in getting the space leased. Everything else on the commercial there is now leased. We have a 3-room concept that's opening very soon. That's gone under incredible renovations right next door. It's going to have like high-end Japanese and sushi concepts, and then also another room is going to be a Japanese-focused whiskey and sake bar.
Nice.
So and they've been under construction a long time. They finally just got health permits signed off, and they're basically doing final prep to open the first room, and then they're going to kind of phase in slowly to open all 3 rooms for all concepts. So that's going to be a really good next door neighbor to have. He's an incredible restaurateur and has very nice concepts. And then the corner deli space in that building, we just signed a new lease with a Nepalese tapas concept. And so we're actually meeting them next week to give them keys so they can start doing their work to prep to get open, which hopefully will be pretty quickly done since a lot of infrastructure is there. So all that's really helpful. But then, this space definitely needs work. The landlord is definitely willing to give, a pretty decent amount of free rent on the front end, and then probably pretty reduced rent for the first couple of years. I'll just say before COVID hit, we were asking $10,000 a month industrial restaurant base. Then we were down to like 7, but now, frankly, I think the landlord would probably give call it 5 or 6 months of free rent. And I'm giving you these numbers based on a tenant that's going to come in and spend some money and really fix the place up. Let's just say 5 to 6 months of free rent, and then maybe like the first year or two, somewhere around 5,000 or 5,500 a month, something like that for the first couple of years, and then maybe in year 3 go to 7,000 a month, and then 3% bumps, so something like that.
Okay. Well, my client, the hood would be a really important thing. That's kind of like the crux of the group's concept. But the pricing seems to be just right. They have liquid 190 for build out and redoing or everything like that, and they can get more, but that's what they have liquid. I really appreciate this. Let me bring this to their attention and kind of do some working around and see if this could be. Hey, John, let me ask you. I'm doing this like seminar and I'm helping new agents and stuff like that. What kind of advice do you have for like a new agent who's just getting into commercial? What's something that you would say to them?
Best piece of advice is to, in my opinion, and this is what was told to me by multiple experienced professionals when I was getting the business, is pick where you're going based on the infrastructure and especially the mentorship. The individuals that will mentor you there. That's the most important thing, is the learning the business, which doesn't happen until you get into it, and having people, or at least a particular individual, is sort of willing to take you under their wing is invaluable. I don't think there's anything that is more important than that.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm going to circle back in about a week and a half. It'll take me.
No problem.
Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
So you guys have it there. So that was, his name is Jaron Eliopoulos, and he's a rock star here in San Francisco. He's with TCP, and that group of guys are phenomenal. Zach, and those group of guys are just really phenomenal. And, you've heard it here first. Having a mentor or someone to help you, show you what to do is invaluable. It means every single thing. And this is Mark here. This is my editing guy, my tech guy.
What's up, guys?
So just want to go over LoopNet with you. I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer, but just I want to say these are some great things for you to call too. And these are WeWork, right? They do offer and work with commissions with the WeWork, but they're almost downstairs. Let's go to leases. Let's go. Lease rate, remember we always want to do monthly. And we'll do something $6,000. And we'll figure out the space use. And we'll do retail, because a lot of us are working, a lot of you guys are working in the retail. Let's see what's on the market. Yeah. And so I just go down the list here and get to know the buildings in my city, and you put your city in, you'll get to know the buildings. And when you're driving by, it's a sense of familiarity and a sense of, wow, I'm confident now, I'm going, I understand what this building is. I know it's on the market, right? And 833 Bryant it's one of my favorite buildings. I love going inside that office space. It's not too far from where my office used to be. And just come on here and look to see what's on the market. This isn't a large space available. It's only 530 square feet. This one's only 327 square feet. But there's opportunity there. And you can see it's only been on the market for 30 days. So there's a lot of opportunity here. And as you're going down, you can see a little bit more about what the rental rates are, how many units are in there, because we know there's a multifamily on top. It is a mixed use space, right? Let's see the flyer here. And we just kind of see the major retailers, and pretty soon you will be putting your listings on LoopNet, and I'll help you with that, putting all of that stuff together. Daddy, I gave her one of my listings, and then I have another one that I'm going to be giving out to Monique, and I'm coming to a city near you to get some leads and deals and give you some things too. How about that? Well, you guys, it's been a great question answer and class today, and I'm so glad that we had a chance to connect. I adore all of you, and I believe in you, and I know you can do it. Keep going, stay purposeful, stay strategic, and I can guarantee you the best is yet to come. You have a wonderful day, guys. You know you can always reach me. See you guys later. Bye.